day and age has it ever changed. The best way, of course, is to have your own money, because that's pretty cheap and no one can check up on you and so on. But for most of us, that's not possible, certainly not in your first business. There is a plethora of lending options available today. The great caution is actually to borrow as little as possible. People will try to push money at you. What you can pay for, but have a rigid, and I do mean rigid, budgetary plan as far as the borrowing is concerned. You can't predict that accurately your income, you do your best, but work out what you think the business can afford to pay and then look at the best way to do it. There's a lot of stuff can be leased today which will reduce the running costs, the going out each week, each month in payments, because you get a balloon payment at the end. That makes it easier to get established. Don't be over ambitious. Don't try and pay it back too quickly. I remember when I was a bank manager, which is a long time ago, I would always probably lend to people for too long. Because if you try to get people to pay back too quickly, you can put an artificial pressure on them and it all goes wrong. You need to identify clearly the difference between long-term capital issues, such as maybe buying a building. And you can relate that to buying a house. It's actually no different. You don't try and pay for your house in 5-10 years, you pay for it over 25 years. If you're leasing a building, you can borrow against some leases. And it can be quite cost effective, because if you've got a long lease, then again you've got a slower repayment period. Be very careful and look at things like early repayment penalties. We see that in, again, go back to things people understand, their house, and they get a fixed rate for 5 years and it's all wonderful and great. And then they have 2 more children and they need to move to a bigger house, and they suddenly find they've got this whopping great penalty for repaying early. You need to look at all of those things. Fixed assets, whether it's, I mean, we're being filmed, somebody bought that camera, whether it's something that's relatively small and cheap as a camera, or whether we're talking about a £250,000 tractor, it's the same principle. Do you really need it? Is it better to actually buy it if you've got the cash? Even if you've got the cash, it might be better to put it on a lease with a balloon payment, because you don't want to starve your business of the oil that makes it go round, which is money. But there's never, in my experience, which is a long, long time now, there has never been so many different ways of doing it. And there isn't one size fits all. The thing to do is to look at your business critically and analyse what you can reasonably afford to pay, and then to work that back to the best funding program.